Hi everyone! If you hear music in the background,
What are you filming?
I'm talking about why I homeschooled
Oh,
and when I started homeschooling and why I started homeschooling.
I can't see the camera.
That's because you don't have your glasses on. Okay, do you have makeup on? So, hi everyone out there. So, yeah, I said that I would come back and do a video and tell you why I chose to homeschool. My family and I chose to homeschool when we actually started homeschooling, and about how long we've homeschooled our children, and if we've mixed school and homeschool. We've done a lot. We've mixed everything all together. Um, because I think as parents we are like completely involved in our kids' academic process, as well as homeschooling allowed me the opportunity not only to be part of their academic process, but also leading them and guiding them emotionally and spiritually as well. So, but initially, we started when our oldest daughter was 6 years old. She was one of those babies born in February, so her birthday was in February, so she missed the cutoff for the year prior, so she had to wait one extra year. And as we thank you, Maya. Thank you. So, so we had to wait to the next year. Well, where we were actually stationed at that time, my husband was also in the military. The school system in that area wasn't that great, and he, along with other military personnel, they volunteered at some of the schools to read with students and what have you. And the schools just didn't have the support that they needed in order for the students to thrive. So we checked out schools in the area, public and private, and the private schools were way above our budget and further out than what we wanted to drive every single day for school. And so a friend of mine in a whole other state was already homeschooling her sons, and she mentioned it to me. But I figured, how can I homeschool? At that time, I wasn't a teacher or anything. I didn't know what I was doing, and how could I be so sure that my child was actually going to learn from me what they needed in order to survive academically? But I checked around at some schools, as I said, and I thought, maybe I can do this. Maybe it's not that it's not difficult, because it's certainly a very interesting path to take. More than interesting, it's exhausting, time consuming, fun. You need a lot of energy. Yeah, and you have to put a lot of thought into it. And for me, there was a lot of organization because I like to be very organized. So, so while we were waiting, when that spring came around, waiting for our oldest daughter to start school, because at that time, our oldest daughter was going to be 6, so she was 6. Our second oldest was 4, and our youngest at that time was 3. So it made for a very interesting day. So the first thing was to find a curriculum that I was going to use, and that my first curriculum was Home Study International, put out by Griggs University, which I really, really enjoyed. A friend of mine was already using the program. It was very detailed. It came with all of the outline, lesson plans, everything. Your child was enrolled If you wanted them, you could either go accredited or non-accredited. We chose accredited because at that time I wanted someone to be able to look over my shoulder to let me know if I was doing things okay or properly. So with the accreditation came the fact that if you were running into difficulties or whatnot, you could call up Homestudy International, and they had a teacher for Miss Bonnie Perkins at that time, who was for grades K through sixth grade, I believe. 5th or 6th grade. And whenever you had a problem, you could call and talk to her, and she would work you through it and give you some resources, not only resources, but give you different brainstorming ideas in order to better help your student. And sometimes if it was really difficult, she would talk to your child for you and help them through a difficult math problem or what have you, which I really enjoyed. And that came at no extra cost if you were doing the accredited program, because you were through the accredited program, you were paying a tuition that was divvied up over a 9 to 10 month period, just like you would if you sent them to a private school. But the prices were a lot more affordable. So that's first kindergarten summer. We ordered all the programs, got everything done and prepared, and got ready for the school year. So I did not do quote unquote preschool with my other kids, because my philosophy on learning was that learning happens every single day. You know, and I wasn't a proponent of VTech toys and all that. I was kind of like learn as you go, meaning that, you know, when we took our daily schedule went as our children got up at 6:30 in the morning. They had breakfast. We would have morning devotional together about 7:30. So they got up at 6:30, dressed, prepared for the day, and what have you. We had a designated area for our classroom, which was just another room that I think it was our garage that we converted into a classroom, complete with a chalkboard that a friend found for us. We had desks that we got from our church's Christian school. At that time, they had a school there, so they donated desks, which was really nice of them, and you know, and got our school supplies. We took the kids to get school supplies at the same time that all the other children were going to get school supplies, because that is so fun. And they really enjoyed that. They even got backpacks, and every day they had to show up to school. Well, I call it school. It was just not the school building, but it was school nonetheless. And so you showed up ready to go, breakfast eaten, backpack on, and they literally came to the garage and came in, and I even had my own teacher's desk. And during that time, it was no mommy, it was teacher. And that's so that they understood. So if at any time when they were going to go to the actual school building, they would know how to behave in a regular classroom, which they did. I mean, if you teach your children right, they know how to behave. So we went on from there. So we had morning worship that happened at from 7:30 to 8 o'clock. At 8 o'clock, we started with math. Math was the toughest of the day, or sometimes it takes the most work. So we started with the most difficult when the brain was fresh, and we did our math. And after math, we did, I think it was our reading. And each lesson just got progressively easier. And with the Homestudy International program for kindergarten, they had a section of the room where you would set it up differently. You would set it up like a cooking area where they learn housekeeping and all that, similar to a regular kindergarten classroom, or what a kindergarten classroom used to be. And so sometimes after a while, I started to notice the difference between homeschooling and sending and kids going to actual kindergarten class, and that our kids were having a lot of fun. So we homeschooled from kindergarten until during that time we were stationed in Mississippi, and from there we moved to Portugal, and we adopted our son there, and then we had four. So we were homeschooling all four of them in Lajesville, Portugal, and which was wonderful. And there we combined our homeschooling with the local Department of Defense school, using their specials, the host nation, art class, PE, and what have you. And it was a great break from them from me, in order to go with other students and have a different teacher per se, teaching them or what have you. And at this time, I think my oldest daughter was in third grade, so they worked together and did things there. And all of them, they all did that. Our son at the time, we put him in programs there. We adopted him when he was 6, well, almost 6, and he needed to learn English. So instead of going to specials, he would generally stay with me and play with other kids in the neighborhood, so he could practice learning his English and understand it more and what have you. And from Portugal, we transitioned to, my husband then got stationed to Heidelberg, Germany. And in Heidelberg, Germany, we homeschooled upon arrival, probably about the first 2 years. The first 2 years. And then we decided and during that time, we had an amazing time, because homeschooling allowed us the opportunity to travel and see and make basically social studies come alive, by visiting countries and different countries, seeing the different wonders of the world. Just an amazing opportunity. And by 6th grade, my husband and I decided that it was, a good time for our oldest child to go on, our oldest and second oldest to go on to school, albeit it was a Department of Defense school, so you still have a lot of controls in place, because you're generally going to school with other military children, other dependents of military personnel, as well as civilian personnel employees. So it's just a really wonderful time. Homeschooling, using the Home Study International program, I think gave them an incredible advantage, because it was math, science, the reading program from kindergarten was just amazing. It was just amazing because it slowed down the process of learning to read in the first semester, so to speak. And by second semester, they were able to put everything together, vowels and consonants together at one time, and in 1 week rather, because they had learned all the consonants in the first semester. And second semester, they put the vowels in there, and they were learning the vowels in 1 week, all the sounds. And then after that, they were actually reading. And I thought it was a fluke with our oldest child, but in actuality, when our second child came along, third child, and even our son, even with difficulties that he was having, they all were reading by the end. And I'm not a parent that pushes or what have you. I try to enhance whatever abilities that each child has, because I think every child has a gift. You just have to bring it out and let them know that they're capable of whatever it is, and that they're, yes, you can do it, you can get it done. Don't tell me that, don't tell me it's hard and that you can't. You could tell me that it's difficult, but we'll work through it. But you can't tell me I can't do this. That was my philosophy on that. So we homeschooled. So we didn't homeschool when my daughter went to 6th grade. Everybody transitioned to Department of Defense schools, and so 6th, 7th, and 8th grade, she went to school, and everyone else for that 3-year period, they all went to school as well. And then, hi Madison.
Do you have butterflies?
No.
You ate all of them?
No, I gave them away.
Maya has them?
She's talking about the butterfly candies from the Amish store. that we only go to once a month, and we try to stock up on everything we need there. And everybody gets the bag of butterflies that she decided she was going to eat in 1 week. Or no, I'm sorry, in 2 days. So yeah.
I can't help it.
Yeah, okay, I know.
Anyway,
So, so let me just finish this. So, but anyway, when we came back to the United States, my husband retired from the military, and he's from North Carolina. So we decided to settle in North Carolina, and our children, you know, we tried private school. Schooling here in the United States is different than Department of Defense, as well as a little different than homeschooling as well. So we had some difficulty settling in. You know, it was a bit tough. As I speak to a lot of moms of military kids, when they return back to the United States from overseas, it is tough. It was tough for myself as well, because I'm an Air Force brat as well as my children, and so it was a tough transition. But once they got the hang of it, we had some dual enrollment that we did for high school, which was really cool. Dual enrollment meaning they were being homeschooled and going to the community college for some classes and using the high school for other courses. So, but anyway, didn't want to overwhelm. So in my next video, I'll actually talk about the programs and how we switched up pricing for the different programs, because it can get so expensive. But we were able to cut down the cost several ways once we got the hang of homeschooling and understanding, you know, what was behind it or whatnot, and how to go about saving money. And so I have a lot of money saving tips for all you homeschool moms out there. So right now, I mean, I think it's safe to say we've been homeschooling now for probably wow, probably about so homeschooled my oldest child, so she's now almost 20. So yeah, we've been homeschooling a while and putting programs together and doing whatever it took, combining high school, as I said, with dual enrollment at taking classes at the community college. So I just had an incredible journey. I enjoyed homeschooling. So I think my next video will be how we made homeschooling fun. I can't say that I always had the energy, but how to make homeschooling fun, how to have a support system while you're homeschooling, and how to save money while you're homeschooling. Anyway, I hope this video was interesting and maybe helped somebody out there. You know, I hope it wasn't too dry. I think I'm getting comfortable with the camera, so hopefully that's coming across. But anyway, thanks for watching, guys, and like always, please like, share, and subscribe, and yeah, share it. I always love to share great information. You can ask anybody who knows me. I love to share anything. So so anyway, so anyway, have a great day, and yeah, talk to you guys later. Bye.